The 10-Year Secret Abridged. It was late one night in LA. A video from a top pianist's engagement party went viral. Anya Lin, wearing a designer gown, was desperately searching through the crowd. Her eyes were red. She looked lost, like a deer caught in headlights. And that was the very day I decided to walk away. I knew it was time to end this 10-year secret love. The day I handed in my resignation. Anya's long fingers were resting on the piano keys. She turned, looked at me. Her beautiful eyes showed pure confusion. Why? I stood by the grand piano. I tried to keep my voice flat and emotionless. Anya, I'm getting older. It's time for me to think about settling down. A relative back east introduced me to a great woman. A few weeks ago. Anya's fingers started tapping on the keys without thought. It was her habit when she was anxious. A few broken notes filled the huge practice room. After a long silence, Anya finally placed the resignation letter on the piano. I can give you a long vacation. But I want you to think about this resignation. I forced myself back to reality. She's about to get engaged to Ethan Sterling. I'll make sure all my work is handed over properly. I'm sorry, Anya. Anya just said softly. I understand. I wish you the best in your marriage. That afternoon at the club, I announced my resignation. Serena raised her glass, breaking the quiet. Honestly, we all thought you had feelings for Anya. But I guess we were wrong. Anya took a sip of red wine elegantly. And smiled faintly. Boring. Later, Serena casually asked. I heard Ethan is seriously pursuing you. My hand froze. A few seconds later, Anya finally spoke. It's just a family arrangement. Does it matter who I marry? She seemed she had accepted her family's decision. The party went on until very late. Only Anya's driver had a delay. It was just the two of us standing by the club entrance. The street lights stretched our shadows long. Soon enough, the driver finally arrived. Anya turned to me. Want a ride? I shook my head. With a polite smile. Thank you, Anya. My fiancée is on her way to pick me up. She nodded. And elegantly got into the car. Finally, it was just me. I pulled off my tie. And leaned against the flower bed on the street. I got home late. My apartment was so quiet I could hear my heartbeat. Everyone envied my perfect life. But in reality, I had nothing. No family. No lover. No friends. When I was in middle school, my dad was diagnosed with cancer. My mom walked out the door and never came back. One day my dad held me down tight. He said, "This world is too painful. Come with me. We'll be father and son again in the next life." He held my hand and walked me toward the edge. Just as we were about to fall, a pair of thin but strong hands grabbed me hard. She held onto me tightly. I survived. But my dad was gone forever. The person who saved me was Anya Lin. To repay her, I carried the guilt of abandoning my father. Anya Lin was my light. I held her hand, looked up and asked, "How can I ever thank you?" 14-year-old Anya looked down at me and answered very seriously. "Just come find me later." My life stood still. Only the name Anya Lin was the driving force in my life. The next morning, I went to the practice room out of habit. Anya walked in. In a moment of confusion, I thought I saw a flash of tenderness in her eyes when she looked at me, and a faint look of grievance on her mouth. Handing over my work was complicated. The handover was delayed. I had to go with Ethan Sterling to the family estate. I was about to leave, but Anya's grandmother, the infamous matriarch, called me over. "Jason, where is Anya?" Anya wasn't there. The grandmother ordered me to find her immediately. I rushed out of the estate and called Anya. Her voice sounded floaty, like she was drunk. I heard piano music faintly in the background. I instantly knew where she was. When I rushed to the jazz bar, Anya was leaning against a grand piano. She patted the bench next to her, asking me to sit. "Talk to me for a while." She looked at me and said, "Your fiancé is not good enough for you." I was completely stunned. Then she finished the last bit of her drink and stood up. Instantly she was back to being the high and mighty pianist. On my last day, as I left, I still held a tiny bit of hope. But I didn't see her in the end. After quitting, I locked myself in my apartment and slept for days. I was lost in thought. When the doorbell suddenly rang, I looked through the peephole. It was Anya Lin. I fumbled and pulled the door open. I was a nervous wreck. But she was as graceful as ever. She spoke softly. "I couldn't reach you. The score for tonight's concert has changed. I happened to be nearby." I forced myself to calm my racing heart. I searched for a long time, and finally found the files she needed. Anya stared at my face for a long time. That look made my heart jump out of my chest. "I'm getting married soon. I need someone I trust to plan the wedding. Would the manager be willing to come back to help? Salary will be the same." I nodded without thinking. From that day on, I was back on her team, specializing in planning the wedding. I thought maybe seeing her get married with my own eyes would finally kill this feeling completely. Ethan Sterling's mood got worse every day. I called Anya. The wedding dress arrived. "Would you like to come and try it on?" There was a long silence. Then she softly hummed, "Okay. Come pick me up." When I got to the club, only she was standing by the window staring outside. I carefully helped her into the car. She didn't say a word the whole way. I could see her delicate profile in the rearview mirror. For some reason, my heart suddenly jumped. I had a bad feeling. Something was wrong. A black SUV had been following us for half an hour. I floored the gas pedal. The car behind us immediately sped up. Finally, the black SUV found its chance and slammed into us hard. The massive impact sent our car spinning out of control, flipping over and over. My vision was red. My head was spinning. Anya was trapped in the back seat. Gasoline was pouring out of the broken tank. Smoke was starting to rise from the back seat. The car could explode at any moment. Anya looked up at me. "My salary isn't worth risking your life. Jason, just go. The car is going to explode." I was already frustrated. I couldn't help it. I yelled. Shut up! Anya suddenly laughed. I grit my teeth and used every ounce of my strength. I finally dragged her out of the car. We hadn't gone far when the car exploded with a loud boom. The fire illuminated half the sky red. The sound of the ambulance came closer. A huge wave of exhaustion hit me. My consciousness began to fade. Anya woke up before me. She just stared at me on the hospital bed. She looked straight at me. My palms were sweating from nervousness. Why did you save me? I smiled and replied. Anya. I'm a gambler. Saving a world-class pianist is not an opportunity everyone gets. What do you want? I thought carefully. Finally I gave an answer that would put Anya at ease. I want the exclusive management rights to your next album. With that I'll be set for life. I saw Anya's brows relax. She smiled lightly. An album is too abstract. How about a downtown music store for you? How does that sound, manager? I smiled too. A music store worth millions. Thank you, Anya. Then she stood up and said faintly, well, Jason, get better soon. You don't need to worry about the engagement. The day I was discharged was Anya's engagement day. I wandered aimlessly on the street. My feet took me into a quiet jazz bar. I rarely let myself get drunk. I ordered a whiskey. The strong liquor burned my throat. The spicy taste made me wince. As my mind began to drift, I used the last bit of clarity to call a designated driver. Meanwhile, at the engagement party, Anya received an unexpected call. The caller ID was Jason Chen. It gave her the perfect excuse to escape the fake ceremony. She rushed to the jazz bar. The designated driver in his uniform looked relieved. This gentleman is very drunk. He couldn't tell me where he lives. Anya took the drunk Jason from him. She helped me walk outside. A drunk man is like a demanding child. Anya had never seen me so unguarded. She couldn't help but whisper a test question. Why did you insist on staying with me? I thought about it vaguely and smiled like a child. To repay a debt. Repay what debt? The debt of saving my life. Anya continued to press. How do you want to repay it? By giving her the best of everything in the world. Why are you so obsessed? Because I love her very, very much. Anya was shocked. She looked closely at my drunk face. My smile was pure. My eyes were sincere. No hint of fakeness. Countless people had confessed to her. But she had never seen a love like this. Buried deep in one person's heart for so many years. I took a train and traveled all over the country, leaving my footprints in every unfamiliar city. Until one day, a piece of explosive news completely shattered my peace. The famous piano goddess Anya Lin announced her permanent retirement. Billionaire engagement off. Why did the piano goddess retire? I was so anxious, my heart was racing. I immediately called Ethan Sterling. His voice was tired and helpless. Jason. This is a game of family power. Personal feelings have to take a back seat. There's nothing I can do. I sensed something was wrong. It was highly likely that Anya planned this exit herself. She needed a warm shoulder more than anything. As soon as the thought crossed my mind, I immediately rushed to her studio. The studio was now dark. I opened the practice room door. I saw Anya sitting alone at the piano, completely engulfed in shadows. She looked up at me. Her eyes were deep, holding 1,000 unspoken words. I walked over her slowly and gently held her hand. All the words I had practiced in my head vanished. I just wanted to hold her hand tightly, just like she gave me strength and warmth all those years ago.